Hey, what's going on everyone? Greg here, and these are Apple's brand new AirPods Pro, a redesigned take on the original classic AirPods, but this time they feature an in-ear design, noise cancellation, new gestures, and a heftier price tag of $250. So, do AirPods Pro really take AirPods to the next level, or are they just an expensive, needless upgrades over the original? Let's start with the design first, because the design of AirPods Pro are quite different from the regular AirPods. Now, inside of your ear, maybe they don't look all that different. They are still only available in a white color, so no other color options, but they are shorter than the original AirPods, so they stick out of your ear less. And when they're in your ear, I think they actually look better than original AirPods. Of course, both wireless AirPods still come in a white AirPods case, and although it's slightly bigger than the original AirPods case, it is still small enough to fit inside small pockets. And that's something a lot of other wireless earbud makers don't really get right. Take a look at Apple's own Powerbeats Pro, and you can see that this massive bulbous case is a pain to take with you, while the AirPods Pro case is still small enough that you'll be inclined to take it with you at all times. Unlike Apple's AirPods, there's no upcharge for getting a wireless case with AirPods Pro. It comes standard with wireless charging, or you can use a lightning cable to physically charge it as well. One nice addition to AirPods Pro wireless case is that you can now tap the top of the AirPods Pro case when it's on a wireless charger to see the charging status. Of course, the AirPods Pro case is a nice way to store your AirPods so you don't lose them, and of course they still feature 24 hours of additional battery life to keep your AirPods Pro nice and charged up. Okay, let's get back to the design of the earbuds themselves, because this time AirPods Pro feature an in-ear design. What I mean by an in-ear design is that AirPods Pro now feature soft silicone tips that go farther into your ear than the original AirPods. Apple gives you a small, medium, or large pair of silicone tips so you can find the right fit for your ear. And these tips are easily changed, so if you want to take one off, just pull hard and they will snap off, and then if you want to put a different tip on, just put it on until you hear a click. And you can easily find the right size tips for your ears by using Apple's ear tip fit test. This will play a small test sound inside of your ears and see if any sound is escaping. And after the test, Apple will tell you if the AirPods have a good seal or a bad seal, so it makes it pretty easy to pick out your ear tips. If you break or lose these silicone ear tips, Apple will sell you a replacement set for $4. Now, before I put on AirPods Pro for the first time, I was really worried that Apple was going with an in-ear design. Traditionally, I have found that in-ear headphones are pretty uncomfortable, especially when you're wearing them for a longer period of time. And I'm the type of person that can wear regular AirPods all day long and not experience any sort of discomfort. They're probably some of the most comfortable earbuds that I have ever worn. So when I got AirPods Pro, I really wanted that experience to be the same. And to my delightful surprise, AirPods Pro are pretty comfortable, and that's due to a couple of different reasons with Apple's engineering here. And from what I can tell, there are two reasons why AirPods Pro are more comfortable than other earbuds I've used. The first reason is that because anytime you put something in your ears, like an earbud, you are building up pressure inside of your ears, and that's going to cause discomfort. With AirPods Pro, Apple included a vent on them that helps relieve that pressure in your ear. A second reason why AirPods Pro are more comfortable is due to the design of the silicone tips themselves. That's because there's no hard plastic bit that the silicone ear tips wrap around. Again, they click into place, whereas on other earbuds, there would be a hard plastic bit that you wrap the ear tips around, and that's the part that protrudes into your ear. So wearing those type of devices, say something like the Powerbeats Pro, can be very discomforting, especially after a few hours of wearing them. Both of these combinations together make Apple's AirPods Pro the most comfortable in-ear earbuds that I have personally ever worn. And that means that I can keep them in my ears all day long. AirPods Pro offer a 5-hour battery life, the same as regular AirPods. However, if you're using the brand new noise cancellation or transparency mode, you'll get 4.5 hours. Because of the new in-ear design, Apple has also switched away from the old tapping gestures that were found on the original AirPods. Now they feature a squeeze gesture on the little indentation on the stems of AirPods Pro. Squeeze once to play or pause, squeeze twice to skip a track, or squeeze 3 times to skip back a track. Each time you squeeze the stem, you get an audible click in your ear. Because that response is usually instant and without any latency, that kind of tricks your brain into thinking you are clicking a physical button, when in fact you aren't. It's really well done and a pleasant feeling. I much prefer this than the old method of tapping the AirPods. You can also use a squeeze and hold to switch between the brand new noise cancellation and transparency modes. You can also change this in settings to cycle between different options or to enable Siri. But more on that noise cancellation, because this is probably the standout feature on AirPods Pro. Overall, noise cancellation works well, especially for the small size of AirPods Pro. Now, these aren't going to completely block out sound, and they aren't as powerful as some over-ear headphones that I have used, but that's to be expected for their smaller size. Okay, let me try my best to explain how noise cancellation works on AirPods Pro. So say, for example, you're sitting at a busy cafe, you have a lot of external noise like people talking, maybe some music playing, maybe some of the equipment running like a coffee grinder going off in the background, and you put on your AirPods Pro. Well, naturally that's going to block off some sound because you have something in your ear, but you're still going to be able to hear everything pretty clearly. Now, all of a sudden, you enable noise cancellation. Well, a lot of those sounds, like the air conditioner humming in the background, will fade into complete silence. Or other distant sounds, like someone mowing the lawn outside or the coffee grinder going off, also seem to kind of disappear in the background. Now, of course, you can still hear louder sounds, especially ones that are closer to you, so you're still going to be able to hear people talking, but it's going to sound muffled. But that's just with noise cancellation on. We aren't playing any sort of music yet, so let's say you put on some music. And then you raise that volume to around 50 to 70%, and at this point, you are pretty much blocking out most outside sound, and you can just focus on what you're listening to. This experience is in stark contrast to regular AirPods, which feature an open design, so they're always letting in external noise. So on AirPods, if you were in the same situation, you would still hear all of those external noises even when you're blasting your music. However, that's not always a bad thing either. One of the reasons that I liked AirPods is that sometimes I wanted to hear my external surroundings, especially when you want to be aware of your surroundings and you're trying not to get hit by a car. Well, thankfully, you can also achieve this effect with AirPods Pro, thanks to the new transparency mode. Transparency mode uses the microphones on AirPods Pro to mix in sound from the outside world to whatever you're listening to on your earbuds. This gives them a very similar experience to using regular AirPods if you want to be aware of your external environment while listening to, say, your favorite podcast. Which, by the way, you should check out my podcast, GadgetCast, link in the description. Again, with transparency mode, if you're listening to music at that 60% volume, if someone's calling out your name, if a car is passing by you, or someone's approaching you, you should be able to pick up those sounds even when listening to a song. This new design, in combination with noise cancellation, also makes for a better listening experience on AirPods Pro. Listen, I'm no audiophile, but from what I can tell, AirPods Pro offers richer sound and a deeper bass than the original AirPods. Although the sound stage isn't that big, the sound is pretty well balanced overall. From my experience, I find that the AirPods Pro sound best when they're in the noise cancellation mode. That's thanks to Apple's adaptive EQ, which is only enabled when you're using noise cancellation mode. Now, this might just be the increased isolation of not hearing any other external noise, which creates a more pleasing listening experience, but I overall found that I enjoyed the sound of AirPods Pro with noise cancellation on. Now, are these the best sounding earbuds on the market? Well, probably not, but they do sound good and they offer the best convenience, especially for iOS users. And iOS integration is key here. It offers a super simple pairing process. And once you connect AirPods Pro to, say, your iPhone, it instantly pairs to all of your other Apple devices, like your iPad, your Mac, and even your Apple Watch. Now, do AirPods Pro work with Android? Yes, actually they do, but you'll need to use the squeeze gesture to switch between noise cancellation and the transparency mode. So you don't get the added convenience of changing those controls like you can on iOS, or you can't use the control center to switch between those modes as well. But even though you don't get those advanced iOS features, AirPods Pro still sound pretty good on my Pixel 4 XL. Let's also not forget about the microphones too, because one of AirPods' traditional strengths was that it had a superior microphone compared to other wireless earbuds. In my testing, AirPods Pro sounded great for voice recording and for phone calls. People said they were able to hear me very clearly, even in busy areas or with wind hitting against my face. Using the microphone will lower the battery life to 3.5 hours of talk time. Now, one of the biggest negatives that I can give AirPods Pro is the limited lifespan. So if you're buying a pair of AirPods or AirPods Pro, you probably know by this point that the batteries inside of them are not replaceable. So that means eventually when the battery life runs out on your AirPods Pro, you're going to have to buy a new set. Okay, now I did want to carve out a special section for AirPods Pro when it comes to workouts, because these are probably the best workout wireless earbuds that I have personally ever used. So now AirPods Pro officially come with a IPX4 sweat and water resistant rating. And that means that they'll survive from light water exposure. So think of something like a light rainstorm or the sweat from your ears when you're working out. And the AirPods Pro for working out are just really, really good. So I did a test run outside with the AirPods Pro in my ears, and during that run, the AirPods Pro stayed inside of my ear the entire time. There was not even a small chance of them falling out, and it was super comfortable throughout my entire run. Not only that, but I was easily able to switch between the noise cancellation mode and the transparency mode whenever I needed to. So say if I was just running on the sidewalk without any risk of a car hitting me, I could put on that noise cancellation mode and focus on my music. All in all, AirPods Pro offer the best combination of sound, simplicity, convenience, and comfort, all wrapped into an amazing package that makes it well worth the $250 price point. And if you love AirPods and you want better sounding AirPods, especially ones that have noise cancellation, this is a no-brainer upgrade. Especially if you're an iOS user. Now, if you do have an Android phone, I still think that AirPods Pro might be worth it for you, because honestly, these are the best fitting earbuds that I have ever used. They sound really good, they have noise cancellation, and the charging case is smaller than a lot of the competitors. So even though you're not getting that awesome iOS integration, I still think these are a fantastic set of Bluetooth earbuds for Android owners. Simply put, AirPods Pro are the best wireless earbuds that I have ever used, and I'm gonna keep using them. Even if they do have a limited lifespan of 2 to 3 years, I think it's worth it. I love the sound, I love the convenience of using AirPods every day. I don't think I could go back to wired earbuds, and if these things die, and even if there wasn't a new version released, I would just buy them again. They're that good. Alright everyone, hopefully that video helped you out. If it did, make sure you leave me a like, and if you want to see more from my channel, make sure you're subscribed. If you want to support the channel out in any way, make sure you check out some of the links in the description. Maybe consider buying the AirPods Pro through my affiliate link there. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care everyone.